Good morning everyone. I found yet another phone to put up and have a little look at. Now this one is definitely a Russian phone, so there's no mistake there. I'll show you the other side. There are proof beyond doubt. CCP, which is Russian. This is a TAK-64 and it looks like it's dated 1989? Yeah, 1989. So it's not too old. An interesting phone this is, because here's obviously the handset, and you'll notice it's got inserted metal bits. Well, they have a purpose. I'll show you the instrument itself. There's no carrying handle on it, but as you can see, the handset clips in, and to remove it needs a little bit of force just to lift it up and away. It's held in by these springs each side, and it would have been used on board a ship. Well, that's what I think it was used for. If anyone else got other ideas, please mention them. Turning him over, you can see the spring inside, which is used to obviously hold the receiver down. While we're looking at that, I'll show you the dial. Yeah, it's a functioning dial. As you can see, I'm not so enthused with this one as I have with the other ones. I prefer to see them made of metal, but this one's made of sort of plastic or neoprene. The regulator is similar to the phones in America, the Western type dial. You've got your terminations there. So it's a very basic dial, but obviously it does the job. There's a number and a date there, nice upside down. 1987, I think that is. So that gives you the age of the dial. It's a Russian-made dial. And as I say, it does the job. Once again, proving my theory about the stop and the zero. We've got another example here where there's space between the two, and it's certainly not an automatic dial, so not to worry. Well, have a look. I took a copy. There's the original, and I made a copy of it, so if I lose the diagram, I've got another copy. There's the diagram. Hold it on there, so if anyone wants to take a copy of it, they can. That is the actual diagram, and this is the actual diagram, which was folded up neatly and tucked under this little PCB. Now then, the phone is quite well made. The components are nicely screwed on. You've got your induction coil there, which looks very much like a normal transformer, but it's an induction coil. Notice the screws that hold it down have had a paint splashed on them. In this case it's a grey paint. Sometimes they use red, but this case they use a grey, and it also holds in the capacitor that you can see there. It certainly looks an old-fashioned type of capacitor, but needless to say, it does the job. You've got two other capacitors and resistors on this board, and you'll see that they appear on the diagram as those two there, I'm assuming. C1 and C2, you've got your two leads in, or your line cord, that'll be on this number 2 and number 1. And the numbering is on this here. I know there's other numbers underneath, but they call this 1 and 2. In fact, I changed it. The red wire was connected up, but unfortunately it's been, the end of it has been, the spade contact is gone, so I've substituted one of the other leads, so those 2 leads can be used. The cradle springs in there. You've got a nice clean operation. You've got one set of contacts which is a changeover, and the other contact which is a brake. This breaks when you put the receiver on. So yeah, it's quite neat, quite well made, robust. I suppose it has to be fairly robust because of the usage in a ship. Now what you might be wondering is, there's the bell. I'm not unscrewing it. It looks like it's sealed down. It's obviously sealed to the right position. Let's have a little look what's underneath. It's different. Here's what we got underneath. And look at the other side of it. You can just see inside there, I think. It is basically a coil. 2 connections go to it. It's basically a coil or a solenoid, and as you get the varying AC coming into it, it causes the solenoid to move to and fro, and presumably that operates on the bell. So you've got a metal piece in the solenoid which is controlled by the AC, and that is what rings your bell, which is slightly different to any of the other phones I've got. Although having said that, I have a Japanese phone which is very similar, but instead of having a bell, they have like gongs. And it's very similar to the old door gongs that you used to get years ago, which used to go ding dong, and that was what they used. So this is like a certainly very similar to that. Anyway, I'm not going to take the handset apart. You've got plasticky inserts, not particularly that good, but at least they do the job. The leads are plastic covered leads, not twisty cord, plastic, and your line cord also the same, plastic. And I would, yeah, there's 3. There would have been 3 leads there. So all in all, not a bad little phone, interesting one. The dial is fully functioning. Very easy to well, being made of plastic and neoprene, still works fine. So that is more or less it. This is the Russian telephone, TAK64. I presume the standard model would be made without the additional attachments. I don't know. But this is definitely a TAK64, which once again I have job finding anything out about it. So there we are. Hopefully this has been useful to anyone and a bit of general interest. And I think that's more or less all I've got to say about this phone. So once again, thanks for looking. Any comments please make. I'm about to actually test this to see if it works. I've never actually tried this out. So what I do now is I look and talk about a particular phone. I try and wire it up. And the easiest way of doing this, as it's on terminals, is to get a little block terminal, which I've got, wired to a normal modular type plug, be it the English or the American type, it doesn't really matter, I've got adapters. And I just plug that in, connect the spade terminals up and try it. What I like is I'm on what's it called? Virgin, which means they provide very quick service when I'm uploading stuff. It's very, very quick. All right, you pay a little bit extra for it, but you know, you're not sitting for hours waiting for the stuff to upload. And it accepts pulse, which this is obviously a pulse dial, or a tone dial. So it doesn't matter, it just seems to know what it is. So I can use a tone dial, the touch tone if you like, and the Strowger type dial, which gives out pulses, and they both work fine. So the system is very good. The only drawback, rather than being connected to a BT line, which I was, obviously if we have a power cut, the phone goes out of service, it just goes, because obviously it's the local power that works the box of tricks. But not to worry, I've got a mobile phone, so if the worst comes to the worst, I'm okay. So that is more or less all I've got to say. Just looking outside at the weather, it's not a particularly nice looking day. We've had some rain. And I thought, well, we'll do this instead. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll pop this up. Thank you.